Argentina survived a night that was far more uncomfortable than many had imagined. The world champion came in as the absolute favorite against Cape Verde, but the match ended up serving as a reminder that, in a World Cup, the weight of the jersey, the big names, or history alone are not enough. Some matches are won through hierarchy, but first, they force you to suffer. And that was exactly what happened to Lionel Scaloni's team. From the start, Argentina tried to settle into the opponent's half, move the ball patiently, and find Messi between the lines. Cape Verde, far from hiding, understood very well the kind of match it needed to play. It did not fall apart, it did not get desperate, and it did not allow Argentina to feel comfortable for long stretches. It defended with order, but it also had the personality to come out when it found space. That is why the night began to take on an unexpected tension. Argentina struck first through Lionel Messi, who once again appeared at a decisive moment. His goal seemed to settle the match and push it toward a more logical development, with the champion controlling the lead. But Cape Verde did not collapse emotionally. It kept competing, kept believing, and found the equalizer through Leroy Duarte, in a play that confirmed the team was not there only to resist, but to truly challenge Argentina. From that moment on, the match became uncomfortable for the Albiceleste. Argentina had more of the ball, created chances, and forced Vozinha to intervene several times, but Cape Verde held firm through collective effort, defensive concentration, and faith. The Cape Verdean goalkeeper was one of the figures of the night, not only because of his saves, but because of the calm he transmitted when any mistake could have meant the end. In extra time, Argentina took the lead again with a goal from Lisandro Martinez. It seemed like the final blow. But once again, Cape Verde responded. Sidney Lopez Cabral's equalizer ignited the hopes of a national team that was just minutes away from taking the world champion to penalties. In that scenario, the story could have changed completely. However, Argentina found one final answer. After a corner taken by Messi, Christian Romero appeared to score the decisive 3-2 and avoid a shootout that Cape Verde felt was getting closer and closer. The goal was a huge relief for Argentina and a devastating blow for Cape Verde, which was left with the feeling of having brushed up against a historic feat. Argentina advanced, but Cape Verde said goodbye, standing tall. It lost, yes, but it lost while competing until the very end, making the champion uncomfortable and proving that its presence at the World Cup was not a coincidence. It was a painful elimination, but also a dignified, brave, and proud one. After the match, Vozinha appeared with a serious face, a tired gaze, and that strange mix goalkeepers often have after an elimination. Sadness, pride, anger, and calm all at the same time. He did not speak from a place of excuses. He did not try to turn the defeat into an absolute injustice, but he also did not hide what he felt. For him, Cape Verde had done enough to deserve for the story to reach, at the very least, penalties. The goalkeeper explained that the feeling he was left with was bitter, because for many minutes he felt the team had managed to take Argentina exactly into the kind of match it wanted. They knew they were facing the world champion, a huge national team, players capable of punishing any second of distraction. But they also knew that if they stayed together, if they suffered together, and if they believed until the end, they could compete. And that is what they did. Vozinha emphasized that Cape Verde did not feel inferior on the field. He acknowledged Argentina's hierarchy, but insisted that his team never played with fear. For him, that was one of the reasons why the elimination hurt so much. They did not leave with the feeling of having been overwhelmed by an impossible opponent. They left with the feeling of having been very close to changing history. When you lose clearly, it hurts, but you understand it in a different way, he said. But when you see that you were right there, that you equalized twice, that the opponent also suffered, of course, something stays inside you. You ask yourself, what would have happened if we had held on a little longer? You ask yourself, what would have happened if the match had gone to penalties? And that is what hurts the most. The central point of his words was exactly that, the shootout that never came. Vozinha did not say it from a place of arrogance, but from the confidence of a goalkeeper who had grown throughout the match. He felt that if Cape Verde resisted until the end of extra time, it could have had a real chance. Not because Argentina lacked specialists, and not because Messi and his teammates did not know how to compete in those moments, but because penalties open up a different dimension. There, fatigue weighs heavily, pressure multiplies, and the goalkeeper can become the absolute protagonist. I felt I could help, he admitted. I felt that if we reached penalties, I could make a difference. I'm not saying we were definitely going to win, because it would be disrespectful to say something like that against Argentina. But I did feel we had a chance. In a shootout, everything changes. History, the jersey, favoritism, all of it matters less for a few seconds. There is the player, There is the goalkeeper, there is the ball, and there is the mind. I felt prepared for that moment. Vozinha also spoke about Argentina's final goal. He did not look for anyone to blame. On the contrary, he defended the group and explained that in those kinds of matches, one play can break all the work of several hours. A corner, a movement, a mark lost for half a second, and the opponent punishes you, especially if the team in front of you is Argentina, a side used to living in the details. It is very hard to concede a goal like that, so close to the end, he admitted. But you also have to understand who we were playing against. Argentina has players who have lived through finals, who have won enormous things, who know how to stay cold when other teams start to lose clarity. Messi puts in a very difficult ball, Romero attacks the space with determination, and that is quality too. We wanted to reach penalties, but they found a way to prevent it. Although the word injustice appeared in his remarks, Vozinha used it carefully. He said that from the feeling of a player who has just been eliminated, of course, the ending seemed cruel to him. Of course, he felt Cape Verde deserved a little more. But he also made it clear that soccer does not always reward effort the way one hopes, and that if Argentina won, it was because it also had the ability to appear in the decisive moments. For us, it is unfair because of everything we did, he explained. Because we ran, because we competed, because at times we played the world champion as equals. But at the same time, you have to be honest. Argentina scored 3 goals. Argentina had the quality to strike when it had to strike. So, from the heart, it hurts and it feels unfair. From the result, you have to accept it. They won, and they deserve credit too. I told my teammates not to lower their heads, he said. It is normal to cry, it is normal to feel anger, it is normal to think we were very close. But we also have to look at what we did. Cape Verde stood in front of Argentina and competed. We did not come here to take pictures. We did not come here just to enjoy the experience. We came to play, we came to believe, and I think the world saw that. The goalkeeper also left a message for the people of Cape Verde. He said he understood the pain of those who had dreamed of a historic qualification, but he asked that this pain not erase the pride. For him, the team represented much more than a result. It represented a country small in territory, but enormous in identity, a diaspora that followed every match with emotion. Children who can now look at their national team and feel that competing against the best is no longer a fantasy. I wanted to give them an even bigger joy, he expressed. I wanted us to reach penalties. I wanted to have that opportunity. I wanted to feel that I could give something more to my country. That is why it hurts me so much. But I also want our people to know that we gave everything. We held nothing back. Every player left his body, his soul, and his heart on the field. In closing, Vozinha returned to Argentina. He did not want his words to sound like a complaint against the opponent. On the contrary, he congratulated the champion and acknowledged that these kinds of teams do not need to dominate the entire match in order to win it. Sometimes it is enough for them to withstand the difficult moments, wait for their opportunity, and finish when the chance appears. We are left with a bitter taste, of course, he concluded. I feel we could have reached penalties. I feel I could have helped there. I feel we were so close. But this is soccer. Argentina won because it knew how to solve it. We leave sad, but proud. And even though today hurts a lot, I think Cape Verde showed that it can look anyone in the eye.